characters, incidents, names, and situations used in this story are fictitious. The resemblance to any person living or dead is purely coincidental. The following video contains some horror elements and suitable for a mature audience, 16 plus. This channel and video is not for kids. Hello friends, I am Arian, and welcome to our channel, Midnight Horror Stories, where you get to hear true and scary ghost stories. But before starting the story, all the friends who have come to this channel for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, and if you like the story, then definitely introduce yourself in the comment section. Then let's do not take much time and start our story quickly. Today, the person who has shared his incident with us works in a company in Gurgaon and lives in Bihar, so there is a long distance between Bihar and Gurgaon. So whenever he had to travel to go to his home, he often used the train. But once it happened that he suddenly gets a call in the evening that your father is unwell and you should get it as soon as possible. Gotta get home. So the person hurriedly leaves his office and tries to catch the train. But because you know that the train already has reserved seats, and it is very difficult to get a seat, and on top of that, if you are late, then the train is missed. So those brothers had also missed the train, and now they decided that the brothers should go to the bus stand. If you get a bus from there, you will sit in it and leave. Just this one decision of theirs was taking them on a path from where there was no hope of their return. But it is said that where all hope ends, God shows us some light there. So today, after escaping from that terrible bus journey, he has come back to Gurgaon and is working there. And from there, he has shared this whole incident with us in detail. And this incident is also very important for you to know, because often there are many of you who often travel from one state to another to work. And sometimes it happens that we go to an unknown place. Neither do we get proper guidance there. Neither the paths nor the people are known. So if you hear this incident, you will know something. We will begin to realize for ourselves where we should be careful. And I want you to hear this whole incident from the perspective of that person. Let's start again. Hello friends, this happened when I was working in a company in Gurgaon. It was a winter day and I was sitting in my office working. That's when I got a call from home informing me that my father was ill and I was called home as soon as possible. Hearing all this, my hands and feet were swollen. For a while, my mind was completely numb, but then somehow I calmed myself down and applied for leave in the office. It was winter at that time, so the night was also early. It must have been 6:30 p.m. My office until 7 p.m. it was, so I thought that now I will work for half an hour and then leave only after 7 p.m. I spent half an hour, and then at 7 o'clock, I reached the train station with a heavy heart. I saw that the last train to my village had left. When I couldn't find a train, I decided to go to the bus stop because I had to reach home. No matter how I went, my head was being torn apart by tension. I was worried about my family. In this worry, I somehow reached the bus stop from 8:30 to 9. It was close to noon. As a result, I did not see any bus going to my village and the buses present at the bus stand. When I inquired there, I came to know that the last bus to my village had left about half an hour ago. At that time, I was very sorry that if I had come straight to the bus stop instead of going to the train station, I would have got the bus, and how would I go home now? I was worried about it when suddenly there were dark clouds, and then in a short time it started raining. I walked inside the bus stop to escape the unseasonal rain gone. It was winter and no bus was running at the moment, due to which there were almost no people there. Due to the rain, I was neither able to go home nor to my room. I was thinking about how to reach my village as soon as possible when a woman in a red saree came to me. The woman was carrying an umbrella and was not wet. I was lost in my own thoughts at that time, so I didn't pay much attention to that woman. After some time, the lady said to me, "Has the bus to Bihar left or come?" "It is." Hearing his voice brought me out of my wildest world. I was a little surprised to hear that woman's question because I also had to go to Bihar. So I quickly said that all the buses going to Bihar have left. I also left for Bihar, but I couldn't get a train or a bus. Now I don't know how to go. Hearing this, the woman said, "Do you have an emergency?" I said, "But there's nothing you can do about it right now. Now I'll have to wait until morning. I don't know if everything will be fine at home or not. My phone's battery is also gone, because of which I am not able to call home, and it is raining so much that I am not able to go home." Then the woman said, "Well, if you do not get a bus here, then there is a bus stand ahead. We'll definitely get a bus there." Then I thought about it and said, "But all the buses going to Bihar have left, Then how will the bus be available there? The lady said that some private buses run even after a time, and she stops at that bus stand. I have traveled on that bus many times, so I am aware of that. You may want, so you can come with me because I am also thinking of going on the same bus to go home. What objection could I have to this because I was already making trouble and I had to reach home anyway, and if I could get a bus to go home from that bus stand, then what was the harm in it? So I started walking with the lady towards that bus stand in her umbrella. We both started talking and walking there. At the same time, a strange thing happened, and that was that when I looked at the woman's feet, I saw that her feet, it was the opposite. I was very nervous. At that moment, the woman said to me, "What happened? How did you suddenly calm down?" I looked at the woman's face. She was looking at me in astonishment. Then I looked at his feet and saw that his legs were straight, just like me. I didn't know if what I had seen just a while ago was true or mine, but then I thought maybe I was too tired and upset. That's why I must be feeling like this. So I'm talking about this. Without paying much attention, he continued to move forward with him. After some time, we stopped at a deserted bus stand. There was no one around the bus stand at that time. Anyway, it was winter days and it was raining a lot at that time. So who would it be? Cars were also coming on the road in front of them in a while, but the bus hadn't arrived yet. I was looking at the road with great expectation. When a light was seen from a distance on that misty road, I would be happy that maybe the bus was coming, but my hope would be shattered. About half an hour later, a bus arrived at the bus stand. She stopped and the door opened. But the surprising thing was that where the conductors of ordinary buses make noise, there was complete silence inside this bus. Now, before I take any action, the lady standing next to me said to me, "Come, this is the bus that will take us to our destination." After speaking, the woman took her umbrella and went inside the bus. Friends, I can't tell you that I had some strange feelings at that time. I felt a little strange standing next to the bus. A different kind of coolness was felt, even though it was a cold time, but there was something different about that bus. But I also had to reach home. That's why I got inside that bus. When I went inside the bus, I saw that there were already 8 to 10 people present there. I heaved a sigh of relief that I was not alone in this bus. Then my eyes came with me, fell on that woman. She sat at the back and looked at me smiling. I found it very strange to see him smile like this. I would like to tell you one thing here, that I am already in a relationship with a girl and want to marry her. I want to, so I didn't want to give any other woman a chance. So I decided to go and sit on an empty seat in the second row of the woman. There was no one in sight at the moment. As soon as I came inside the bus, the doors of the bus closed, and then the bus started moving at its own speed. As soon as the bus left, I breathed a sigh of relief that now I would reach my home very comfortably. I took out my mobile phone from my pocket and saw that its battery was completely dead. I didn't even bring a charger. That's why I got my mobile back. I put it in my pocket and waited to get home. I closed my eyes and tried to sleep. It must have been a while before I felt someone's cold touch on my hands. I opened my eyes nervously and found that the same woman was sitting next to me, and she was touching my hands with her hands. Seeing this, I immediately pulled my hand away and said, "What are you doing? You were sitting there, were you not? So why did it happen here?" The woman smiled and said, "I don't know why I should tell you or not, but I felt very strange on this bus. I was a little scared, so I came to you." I said, "Look, ma'am, I'm very tired and a little upset, so I want to sleep for a while. Please don't disturb me and go back to your seat. There are other people here. You can talk to them." On this, the woman did not say anything and sat back in her seat, and I breathed a sigh of relief. I closed my eyes again and tried to sleep. It must have been a while since I closed my eyes. Something felt strange. I felt like someone was staring at me. When I opened my eyes, I saw that no one was staring at me. All of them were engrossed in themselves. Seeing this, I closed my eyes again and tried to sleep. But I began to get the same impression again and again. That's why I lost all my sleep. And now I started looking out of the window to pass the time. A few minutes later, I heard a man's voice. "How are you, son? Where are you going?" I turned around and saw a 60 to 65-year-old man standing in front of me. Seeing them reminded me of my father, and I said to him, "Yes, I was going home. There was just a little emergency at home." The old man asked, "Is anyone sick in the house?" Now, even though I was a boy and boys don't cry most of the Time, the truth is that we are very fragile at heart. Nothing is more important to us than family, and I was going through this phase at that time. We can't cry in front of anyone, but no one could understand the pain I was feeling and when tears started flowing from my eyes. I didn't know it, and I cried. He said, "Yes, my father's health is bad. I got a call from my mother in the evening, so I just want to reach home as soon as possible." The old man put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Be patient, son. Everything will be fine. You will definitely reach your destination." The man had just said this when suddenly a woman of his age shouted, "What are you doing there? How many times have you said it? Don't talk to strangers." Hearing this, the man went back to the woman and sat down. At the same time, I was feeling a little lighter after telling my heartache. "I am again." He sat down and waited for his destination to come. I looked out of the window. At the same time, a strange thing happened. The light on top of my seat in the bus suddenly started going out. Seeing this, I was a little nervous. I started looking at that light, but then suddenly my eyes fell on the woman who had come with me. I found the woman staring at me with a mysterious smile. It was very uncomfortable for him to stare at me, so I got up from there and came forward. Now I was away from the woman's eyes and the light was also right here. The seat next to me was empty and the conductor of that bus was sitting in the side row. I was sitting here very comfortably when suddenly my eyes fell on the conductor's face. There was a flat expression on his face, and he was constantly staring at the front. I thought he might have been drinking. That's why he's behaving like this. So I decided to sleep without paying much attention to it. There was still a long way ahead of me, and it was very important for me to rest. I closed my eyes and tried to sleep. It must have been a while before I stopped, when suddenly I heard some strange sound from behind. It sounded like someone was chanting a strange mantra behind me. I don't know if it was the effect of those mantras or something else that made my head ache a bit. With each passing time, those chants started intensifying and my headache started increasing. Disturbed by all this, I opened my eyes, and as soon as I opened them, those mantras stopped automatically. I looked back in amazement and saw all the people sitting behind me on the bus smiling horribly. They were staring at me. At that time, I was so scared that I couldn't tell you. At this moment, my eyes fell on the old man, who was helplessly looking at me. We women sitting next to him were staring at me angrily. I looked at the front nervously. I had lost sleep, and now, to be honest, I did not want to stay on this bus. I looked at the conductor, who was still looking in front of me with a flat expression on his face. My anxiety was increasing. I didn't dare to look back. It went on like this for a while. Suddenly, the conductor spoke with a flat expression on his face. "You look very tired. Why don't you sleep for a while?" As soon as I closed my eyes, I did not dare to sleep after seeing that strange sound and that dreadful scene behind me as soon as I opened my eyes. I didn't say anything, just kept looking at the front. There was a strange silence for about 5 to 7 minutes, and after that, the speed of that bus started slowing down. Seeing this, my eyes lit up because I intended to get out of this strange bus. When the bus stopped, 2 25 to 26-year-olds were killed. The boys started boarding the bus, and during this time, I got the opportunity to try to get out of the bus. As soon as I got up from my seat, the conductor grabbed my hand and said that there is still a lot of time to come to Bihar. You can't understand how surprised I was to hear this, because so far I have to go from any passenger other than this conductor of mine and that lady on this bus. There was no talk about it, so how does this conductor know where to go? My heart was pounding. I wanted to get off the bus. But that conductor, the grip of my ice-cold hand was tight on my wrist, and I couldn't get my hand off him. Meanwhile, the bus started running again. As the bus moved, the conductor let go of my hand and stared back at the front. I was starting to feel a lot more scared now, so I got up from the conductor and walked towards the people who had just arrived on the bus. I sat in the seat behind him. The 2 young men on the bus looked perfectly normal to me. That's why I breathed a sigh of relief. The place where the 2 young men sat, there were 3 seats together. I got up again and sat down beside him. Both of them were sitting with headphones on. Well, after some time, I shook the person sitting next to me with the intention of talking. "Brother, my phone battery is dead and I have to call home. If you have a mobile, you'll let me make a call." On this, the boy gave his mobile to me without saying anything. I said thank you and called home. I spoke to my mother and she told me that now your father's better than before. Yes, but come soon. I said okay and told that my phone is switched off so the phone will not work. But those people should not worry. Then I hung up the phone and gave it to the boy. The boy also started listening to the song from back like his companion, and I also started looking at the front. After some time, my foot was itchy, and when I looked at my foot to scratch, during this time I also saw the feet of those two boys sitting with me. Then I saw that both of them had upside-down feet. My throat was dry with fear. I don't understand anything. I wondered where I got stuck. I wanted to get out of that bus anyway because I understood that this is no ordinary bus. But the problem here was that the people inside this bus had not harmed me so far. And if I get up immediately and start leaving, do you know if these people will take any action to kill me? So I had to do whatever I wanted to do now. I got up and sat in the front seat. Now I was waiting for the door to get off this bus when the door opened again. I will go. I felt like all the people behind me on the bus were staring at me again. I didn't think too much about it and started thinking about the future. After a while, I got an idea. I told the conductor that I have to go to the bathroom. When will the bus stop at a restaurant? The conductor said, be patient for a while. We'll stop at a restaurant. Then I said, it's not going to stop. It's cold time. I haven't been to the bathroom since the bus has been running. Put a little edge. I'll be back in 2 minutes. After this, the bus conductor, I told the driver, just stop here. They have to go to the bathroom. The next time, the speed of the bus started slowing down, which made my eyes glow. I now stood very close to the door of the bus, and I took a look at the people present in the bus. They were all looking at me with horrible smiles. As the bus stopped, I got off the bus and then went a little inward into the bushes. I left my luggage there on the bus to convince them. There were forests on both sides of that road, and now there was a lot of forest to save your life. So I started running inside that forest. I was very nervous and didn't look back. I ran like that for a long time. I had completely lost the strength of my knees. I was out of breath. But if I had stopped, I don't know if I would have survived. Thinking of this, I kept running continuously, and then I came far ahead while running. Now there was a deserted road in front of me. There were no cars in sight. I was drenched in sweat even in the cold. I don't know where I was, but I was happy that I've come a long way off that bus. I stopped there and started breathing fast. I left my luggage on the bus, but I had no regrets about it because if there is life, then there is life. I was now walking on the same deserted road. A few minutes later, I saw 2 white lights in the distance. Seeing that light, my eyes lit up, and I waved my hand to stop the car or just whatever it was. I found out it was a bus. She stopped beside me, and then I hurried through the door and went inside the bus. As soon as the bus came in, the conductor said, "Where to go?" I told him Bihar. Luckily, she was just going to Bihar, and my money was also in my pocket. I took the ticket from the conductor and then sat in the back seat. There were a lot of people on the bus besides me, but they were all just sleeping. That's why I also went back and slept. It wasn't long before I lay there, but then I felt someone's cold touch on my face. When I opened my eyes in a hurry, I found that the woman in that strange bus was sitting next to me, and she smiled at my face. She was waving her hand. Seeing this, I sat up nervously and looked around. I was on the same bus. I didn't know if what had just happened was a dream, but I don't know why it felt like it was real. Seeing me like this, the woman said, "What happened? Did you have a bad dream?" A terrible smile appeared on his face as he spoke. I was on the same bus again unwillingly. It meant it was all a dream, but if it was a dream, I could still really get out of here. Thinking of this, I got up and came forward and said to the conductor, "Brother, how long will it take for the bus to stop? I have to go to the bathroom." Hearing this, the conductor asked the driver to stop the bus. Shortly after the bus stopped, I glanced at the people on the bus who were staring at me with strange smiles, and then got down from the bus and started walking inside the bushes. Let me tell you here, this whole scene was exactly the same as I had dreamed a while ago. Well, I went inside the bushes and then started running inwards. From there, after running for a long time, I came a long way from there, and then the other came to the street. I heaved a sigh of relief on that deserted road, and then I started moving forward on that house road. After some time, a bus came, and I signaled it to stop. It was a private bus. As soon as I signaled, the bus stopped, and then I got on that bus. As I boarded the bus, the conductor asked me, "Who are you? And why are you wandering in the forest at such a late hour?" I told him everything. Then the conductor laughed and said, "What are you throwing, brother? Does this happen? Come on, no problem. You sit down and leave you. Anyway, half the bus because of the cold. It's empty. You get the tickets." I quickly got my ticket and then went and sat on an empty seat. As soon as I sat there, I don't know what happened that I started falling asleep, and I also fell asleep thinking I was safe. But then the next moment I suddenly woke up, and what I found was quite scary. I was still in the same bus, and all the people on the bus were looking at me. I sat up nervously, stoking my eyes from him, and looked out of the window. Now I knew that it would not be so easy to get off this bus. Every time I get out of this bus, I get on this bus. I'll be back. I don't know what was holding me back inside this bus, but now I was convinced that I would be stuck here for the rest of my life. Thinking of all this, I leaned my head on the window and looked out. But then I saw a hope of getting out of here. I saw a police jeep going out of the bus. I tried to open the window glass to ask for help. I don't know why the window didn't open. When the window did not open for a long time, I held the glass window with my hand, knocked so that the attention of those policemen would be drawn to it, but I don't know why they didn't pay attention. I tried very hard to get the attention of those policemen, but all in vain, and then the next moment the bus started moving forward on the deserted roads again. I was crying here. I didn't know what I was being punished for. I must have done a few bad things, but I never wanted to hurt anyone. There must have been a little bit of cheating in the exam. He must have lied to his family members. But I am such a big punishment for this mistake. I was feeling very close to death that at this time, the same old man came to me and spoke in a low voice. "My son is upset." I didn't say anything because this uncle was just like everyone else on the bus. That's why I kept quiet. Then he grabbed my hand with his hand. His hands were cold, but I didn't feel scared of him. I felt like he wanted to help me. But because of these people, they were not able to do it. I looked into his eyes and a concern was evident for me. "Now I'm going to say something." Even before that, he said in a low voice, "Every worse situation has some break. Just recognize it and you can get out of any problem. You may not have succeeded in a secluded area, but you may be in a residential area." That uncle told me how to get out of this bus, and now before he or I could say anything, the lady sitting next to him said angrily, "You then went and sat beside him. Come here and come back." Now before Uncle left, I said I was a little worried, so Uncle is just taking care of me. On this, the woman got up and came from her seat and told those uncles home. The uncle got up and sat back in his seat. After they left, I waited for a residential area to arrive. After about half an hour, I started seeing small shops and houses. Seeing this, I started working on my plan. I screamed loudly, "Someone stole my money, just stop!" Hearing my voice, all the people present in the bus started staring at each other. At the same time, I went to the conductor and said angrily, "My money has been stolen. I want my money back." That the conductor asked me to stop the bus, and then I went to the old man and said angrily, "You were coming and sitting next to me again and again. You must have stolen my money, and until I get my money, this bus won't run." With that, the bus stopped, and I got down from the bus quickly with the old man. When I came out, I started shouting loudly so that people from around could get up and ask for help from them, and hear what I thought happened here. Due to my noise, the lights of the nearby houses started burning, and their houses started stirring. In the meantime, she just left from there. After they left, a relieved smile appeared on the old man's face, and he disappeared from there. I heaved a sigh of relief, and the next moment, people from the neighborhood came to me and asked me the reason for cutting the hull so late in the night. Here I knew that no one was going to believe me, but still I told them the whole truth. They thought my words were a myth, but they still helped me. On that cold night, a family gave me shelter. I spent the night there but didn't sleep because I was scared that if I slept and reached that bus again, I kept awake all night thinking about all this. And then in the morning, I went to the train station and left for home by train. Because of that dangerous bus, I was afraid to get on the bus now. That's why I was running away from the shadow of the bus. But here you will be surprised that all this process did not stop here. I came home. After going there, I came to know that my father was absolutely fine, and he had done all this lie to call me here and show me the girl. I was very angry because of this action of theirs. He was saved from dying. Thankfully, the old man supported me on that bus. But if all those people had attacked me, then thinking about all this, I started fighting with my family members. Here, my family members found my talk funny, and then they told me that when we were asking you to show the girl directly, then you did not agree. Then what option do we have in such a situation? Then I told him clearly that I would marry the girl I loved. Let me tell you one thing here. My family was against my love, but he wanted to marry the same girl. Then my family members asked me to go with them with their oath. They threatened to kill me if I didn't agree. I thought that I will tell the girl the truth about this because I do not want anyone's life to be spoiled because of me. I came to the girl's house, and after a formal conversation, the girl came. My face turned white when I saw that girl because it was the same girl who had taken me to that ghoster bus. I can't tell you how terrified I was at that time, and then I fainted right there in fear. My parents took me to the doctor. By now I had a very high fever. You can understand that you are in a bus where all the ghosts and do not know what except you. So how would you guys feel? Here I had got out of this bus, but now I could see the faces of all those people in the bus in the faces of many people. The girls found my behavior very strange. They thought I had a dangerous disease. He talked to my parents about it, and they told him anything. Let me tell you one thing here. The girl was giving a very good dowry, due to which my parents wanted to get me married to her in any way. But here the girl turned out to be wiser. He did not want his daughter to face any problem after marriage. So they questioned people in the vicinity about me. The sounds of my cries and screams coming from my house were now frequent, and the neighbors told them about it. The girl had now come to know that there was an upper circle on me, and she talked directly to my family about it. My family told him, I don't know if a girl has done some sorcery on it, because of which it has become like this. We are looking for a Baba, but we cannot find him. Then the girl's father told that he knew a Baba, and he would bring her here tomorrow. The next day he came to our house with a father. That Baba saw me and patted my head. Then after chanting for some time, he took a deep breath and said, there is a ghost of 10 to 11 people on it, and they are not going to leave it so easily. Hearing this, I was more nervous than the family members were nervous because it was the same people on the bus. I told the tantric about it. Then he said, many times it happens that some people become the victims of famine, and if they are miserable and persecuted souls of people, then they cannot say how dangerous it will become. The bus you were sitting on may have been a victim of something untoward a few years ago. Because of this, all those insatiable wandering souls are wandering here and there in this world. Such wandering phantoms are mostly of the biological energy of ordinary people. The Sahars maintain their powers, and now they are all after you, and they will not leave you until they pull all your biological energy. Hearing this, my mother cried and said, don't say that, Baba. There must be some solution to get rid of this problem. Then that Baba took a deep breath and said, there is a way, but it will cost a lot, and a girl's life can also be in danger. We will have to do an action which will cost 6 to 7 lakh rupees. At the same time, his wife was taken to the bus and took the life of this boy from there. You have to be freed. But keep in mind that if his wife goes on that bus, then there will be absolutely no hope of her coming back. But yes, even if that girl is killed in it, it will still get rid of it. Hearing this, my parents looked at the girl. Then the girl's father said, see, you guys cannot have this relationship now, because we will neither give a single rupee in it, nor will we put our daughter's life in danger. And then they all left from there. Then my mother said, let's arrange the money, it will be done like this. But from where will we get his wife? At the same time, my mobile rang. That phone was from my girlfriend Asha. As soon as she picked up the phone, her question started. I hadn't spoken to him for a long time. On top of that, I didn't even go back to work. Before I could say anything, my mother snatched the phone from my hand and started talking to her herself. Actually, my mother, who was against our love till now. I was looking for my life in it. He thought that he would get me married to Asha and send him in that bus. After that, she will not be able to come back, and she will marry me the way she wants. He spoke on the phone. Asha wept and told the whole thing and asked her to get rid of this problem by marrying me. Hope loved me very much, so she immediately agreed to it. Asha's parents had died long ago, and now she considered me her everything. She came here immediately, and in a hurry we got married in a very simple way between 4 people. Asha married me despite knowing everything. which made it clear that she loved me very much. Friends, we cannot know the extent of anyone's love, because if someone is with a true heart, if he loves, no matter what happens, he plays it till death. And if someone's love is only attractive, then he can never go to this extent. Well, the same horrible game with Asha started only after 2-3 days of marriage. The passengers of the bus and the bus that were visible only to me were now visible to Asha as well. But here Asha acted courageously. The very next day, the occultist was called. The tantric lit a fire in a pool in the courtyard of the house and started chanting mantras. During this time, he chanted strange mantras. He sacrificed a chicken and sprinkled a few drops of its blood on me and Asha. After this, they burnt the chicken to ashes near the pool there. During the burning of this chicken, my clothes were also burnt, along with that chicken that I was wearing in that bus. After this, he said, while completing this action, while sprinkling Ganga water on me, "My work is done, and now this child will have to do the rest. He will have to take the ashes of this chicken and go to that bus within 2 days and go there and throw this ash in that bus. After that, it will have to set that bus on fire. As soon as the fire starts, this girl will come out of that bus and everything will end here. But remember, those spirits will stop him from doing all this. So you don't have to say anything to them. Wherever you speak, they will attack you." Hearing this, I said, "But Baba, if Asha lights a fire in the bus, she herself will also get burnt." Then Baba said, "Nothing like that will happen. It's an elusive bus. Therefore, as soon as you light a little fire there, the fire will spread around and will pierce the web of that Maya. But yes, so that Asha is not harmed by that elusive fire, arrived. You have to wear this Rudraksha bead around your neck and keep in mind that you have to wear this garland in that elusive bus. My blessings are with you, daughter. May God bless you in this mission of yours." After speaking, Baba left from there. And then the next night when we were all sleeping, Asha heard the sound of a bus. Hearing that voice, I also sat up. Hope took her purse. In it, he poured ashes and lighters. She put a garland of Rudraksha around her neck and then went to fight my trouble. Hope stood outside the house, and then in a short time, she just came there, and Asha boarded it. Guys, I can't tell you here how badly I was stabbed here. I found out about that deception later. As soon as Asha boarded the bus, he looked around. All the people on the bus were looking at him with horrible smiles. Asha was very afraid of him, but she still acted courageously. She started moving towards the empty seats in the back of the bus. At the same time, he caught sight of an elderly man who was looking at him with a sense of despair. Hope had understood that the same old man helped me, so she thanked him in the eyes and started going backwards. The bus started moving at its own speed, and then in a short time, Asha took out the ashes from her purse and started throwing it in the bus. Soon, when her purse was empty, she breathed a sigh of relief. Because of the ashes that my clothes were burned with him, the obstacle that had come over me had come back to the bus. And now all Asha had to do was light the fire and get out of there. But before Asha could do anything like that, she received a loud slap, and the bus fell into a corner. Asha looked nervously and found that a woman in a red sari had slapped her and was staring at him with angry, tearing eyes. The woman would do something again. Before he could do that, the old man stopped her and said, "What are you doing? Why are you killing this child like this?" Then the woman next to him shouted angrily, "Why do you want to save these people? Who among them came to save us when we needed it? Today, because of all this, we are stuck in the cycle of life and death, and you're saving them." The man said, "What is the fault of this child in all this? She is doing this to save her husband, and her husband also came in this bus for his family members. Suppose our children did not see us. Why should we punish others in all this? I believe that all the ghosts of us in this bus are not happy with their premature death. That's why we're harassing everyone. But how is it responsible for our death? When the bus met with an accident that day, both the conductor and the driver were drunk. Why? We were killed in the clutches of time. But why should we punish them for this?" Hearing all this, I put on headphones. One of the people I asked for a phone from said, "We did not do anything. We had so many dreams going home from our hostel. But why did we die? If we don't live, no one can live." Then the uncle said, "If all of us had accepted our death in time, we would not have been wandering like this. Maybe we had a new life. It's not too late. Correct your mistake. But he did not agree, and he glued Asha to the roof of the bus above, blowing it in the air. Hope to get rid of them. She was trying very hard, but his attempt could not succeed. Asha could not understand how these people could harm her despite wearing a Rudraksha bead. She was thinking about all this when she remembered that my mother had come to Asha in the afternoon and gave her another Rudraksha garland and said that Babaji had said that the garland was fake, so she had sent this one. Friends, here my mother had thought that she would not let Asha come back and get me married in a place where she would get a hefty dowry. Asha was very sad about this, but she had decided to get out of here first. Only then will she look forward. Hope started scrambling loudly, but nothing happened. On the other hand, he wanted to help Uncle Asha, but everyone surrounded them. The uncle looked helplessly at Asha. Both the driver and conductor of the bus were busy driving the bus at 0 rate. At the same time, they slammed Asha down with a jerk. Asha fell face down on the ground and broke her nose, and blood began to flow. All the insatiable souls began to lick the blood, leaking from the wounds of Hope. Meanwhile, Asha reached out to the purse, but then the uncle's wife grabbed Asha's wrist. She stared angrily at Asha and said, "You can't do anything like this. You, like us, will be imprisoned here forever." As he spoke, he pressed Asha's wrist tightly. At the same time, Asha's wrist bone was broken with the sound of Kadak. Hope was overcome with pain, but then the next moment he said, "Sorry, but it's time to sacrifice all of you." It has been done. No one could understand anything. Before that, Asha took out a lighter from her plazo pocket and lit it. At the same time, there was an explosion like a cylinder burst, and that elusive bus flew away like smoke. In the morning, Asha was seen outside the village in a burnt condition. Everyone felt that this was the condition of Hope, that my family and I had done this. But despite this, the matter did not reach the police. The reason is that the villagers solved the matter of the village in the village itself. I had gotten rid of it all once and for all, but I hope it burned 30% of it. It was done, because of which his condition was bad. My family here thought that Asha would die, but she survived, and after that I came to know about the handiwork of my family members. At first they said Asha was lying, but then I told my father everything. Baba asked him, "When did I ask you to change the rosary?" Rather, if the rosary had not changed, Hope would not have burned like this today. I was very angry with my family members, and they started crying after exposing themselves and started saying that they had done all this for my good. In my understanding, I didn't know how it would have been good for me. The girl whom these people had chosen for me left me as soon as trouble came, and it would be good for me to marry the girl of some selfish, moneyed man by killing the ghostly bus and the people who confronted me in trouble. By this time, I had discovered that I was a money-making machine for my family. Nothing more than that. So I decided to part ways with him forever. Guys, I don't know if I did right or wrong, but those who have he can do it again and again. If you love someone, then it is also your responsibility to maintain that love. And why should I stay in a house where there is no place for my love, but a plan is being made to kill him despite making so many sacrifices? So I came back to Gurgaon with Asha. Here I got his treatment done better, but it couldn't be completely the same as before. But to me, she is still the most beautiful girl in the whole world. And friends, I sincerely hope that you will find this. The story must have been liked a lot. And see, the biggest thing is that where there is no appreciation of your love, there we should go out quietly. So I think this brother did very well what he did, because the girl who did not even care about her life for this, then think who else can be a greater God for her than her. So if you ever value someone in your life, then you should also take care of the importance of every person in your life, who is special for you, who is far away, and who is selfish for you. So friends, this was our story today. Do tell us how you liked the story by commenting. And those who have not yet subscribed to the channel must subscribe to the channel. Take care of yourself and your family. I, your friend, will meet you soon with a new story. Thank you.